Welcome back. So this was also the last question that my friend Sniper Master asked me when he sent me a personal message. He said basically, what villain would I like to see in the fourth Spider-Man movie? Now, before I answer that, being that I'm a huge fan of Spidey, I think I'll give you my view of the trilogy so far. Okay, so we start off with number one. Oh, matter of fact, let me start off with the casting at first. When I heard that they were gonna make Spider-Man, I was happy. I was like, wow, 40 years in the making. Finally, you know, finally he's gonna come to the big screen. So I was happy for that. But then when I saw who they cast for Spider-Man / Peter Parker, I saw Tobey Maguire and I'm like, whoa, what are you guys doing? No, because see, I've seen Tobey Maguire before, and I've seen a lot of his work. Like I said, I'm a huge movie buff, so I'm always watching movies, and I've seen Tobey Maguire, and to me it was like, no, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? But then when I saw that they buffed him up, they got him into shape, I'm like, okay, all right. And the first movie I thought was well done. I mean, the origin, they tweaked it a little bit, you know, they kept it kind of true to what his origin was, but they tweaked it a little bit. Hence, Uncle Ben getting carjacked instead of the burglar entering the Parker's household and Uncle Ben trying to stop it. You know, not really showing Peter's smarts. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, they showed it when he was in school, but they didn't show it during like the like in times of, hence being him creating the web shooters. I was a little disappointed in that because I thought Sam Raimi, claiming to be such a huge Spider-Man fan, would have kept that, would have kept the web shooters instead of making them organic webbing, which later on in the comics they decided to go with. I thought that William Dafoe did a great job as Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. The only problem I had a problem with in the first film was simple, was the fact that here you have the costume designer saying, oh, with Spider-Man's costume, we can't really mess around with that. That's an iconic costume. Okay, lady, you said that. But the Green Goblin's costume is iconic too. So what the hell are you creating a Power Ranger-like costume for him? You know, just certain tweaks like that. I mean, that really had me bothered, you know, as a Spider-Man fan, as a comic fan, that the character I've read so many years wasn't doing a lot of things that they should have. I mean, they tried to go too much with drama, and I understand that. That's no problem. But where was the comedy? You know what I'm saying? With Spidey, you know, when Peter's in costume, he lets himself free, where he can be almost himself with no consequences. So he cracks jokes and stuff like that against his opponents. Basically, in my mind, he's throwing his opponents off by cracking the wisecracks. But, you know, I didn't see that in the first one or in the series, period. But the first one was great. Then the second one comes out, and we see that, well, at first there was talks of the second one wasn't even going to star Doc Ock. It was going to star the Vulture, and Ben Kingsley was going to play Adrian Toomes, and he was all willing to do it. He was getting into shape and everything for the role, but unfortunately he dropped it suddenly. I'm not sure what the reason was, and they casted Doc Ock, and Alfred Molina played a great Doc Ock. And once again, two just was better. Just a great movie. Of course, the fight scene on the train, even though people who are from New York know that was a little bogus, but you know, especially the subway being on top instead of being underground, especially if you're from New York like I am. But that fight scene on the on the train was just great. I mean, it was just beautifully done. The uncut version, I've seen the full extended version of that fight scene, and it was just great. Once again, the problem was, you know, once again, Spidey not showing his wisecracking against Doc Ock. You know, it was more dramatic, more, you know. I also, you know, my biggest problem also, what I would have done in the two episode, 2 parts, part 2 and 3, in the first part of the movie, like in the beginning or so, I would have shown Spidey fighting another one of his rogue gallery of villains, like a B-lister. You know, for example, I would have loved to seen him go against maybe, I don't know, let's throw, Mysterio or somebody in there. You'd have seen him fighting Mysterio or the Chameleon in the beginning of the movie. Then you go into the main villain. Like if anybody watches Batman Brave and the Bold, the animated stuff, you see how they do that little teaser episode in the beginning. Then you go into the main story. I would have done that with the Spider-Man movies, especially 2 and 3. But once again, Alfred Molina did a great job as Doc Ock. Toby was pretty decent. Everyone else who was the supporting roles was pretty decent as well. Now, for 3, and I don't know if anybody's watched my Spider-Man tribute, but I mentioned 3 in it, and I tell you my problems with 3. So with 3, and I think me and my friend Galactus Girl was talking about this, especially the franchise period, and basically with 3 was basically simple. 3 of the series basically it just 3 basically, here was the problem. Too many villains, too many subplots. So you're trying to tell different stories at the same time. Mr. Raimi's trying to do the murderer responsible for Uncle Ben's death, which was bullshit. Okay? You're trying to do the alien, the symbiote story in the process, which was bullshit. And then you're doing you're doing Harry's revenge on Peter for supposedly killing his father, which was okay, but once again bullshit, because you're doing too many stories at the same time. And then you add Venom, which was really just a waste of time. I know fans wanted to see Venom make his film debut, but you could have patiently waited for this. You know what I'm saying? You guys could have waited, and patiently waited as much as I did. You know, the story of Sandman being Uncle Ben's killer was a piece of crap. 3 just really, there were some good points, and then there were just a lot of bad points. I wish they'd have really, once again, talked about the Spider-Man suit, iconic. That black costume symbiote suit is iconic. So you couldn't tell me you just couldn't created a regular black suit when the symbiote came upon him. Uh, just the theme of the symbiote just falling out of the sky. What the hell was that? You know, I thought they were gonna at least I thought they were gonna take the story of the symbiote from the animated series, where the symbiote was on the moon at first. It came back on the shuttle with John Jameson. Hence, there's your, and it got in contact with with Peter. But you know,